How's it going, guys? It's J Daddy Rocker here. Had to think of my new name. I just made a new account. So I want to talk about what is the best karate style. Is karate even the best fighting style? I was recently at a MMA fighting club, or if you want to call it that. I was at a club with a bunch of bad dudes. No, it was just a class. But I recently stopped going because I feel like I got everything I needed from it. But that's what I love karate is because I feel like it is its own different style, and I feel like when you combine karate and boxing and stuff like that, it makes for a really good combination. Now, if you want to take it a step further, I think combining even kung fu, karate, and boxing is amazing. So I want to talk about that. There's a style called Goju Ryu karate. Now, keep in mind, this is nothing like Shaolin Kung Fu or Wushu, but they do implement some forms of what I would call meditative techniques, breathing techniques, and things of that nature. But I still wouldn't compare it fully to, certain Kung Fu styles. I think they definitely do more. But in terms of the best karate style, if I had to guess, I would say Goju Ryu is probably, in my opinion, one of the best forms. But I also believe Shuri and Ryu is a really excellent form of fighting. There's a guy where I live. He's got a Shuri and Ryu karate place I'm going to start going to. What makes Shuri and Ryu so awesome is that it does actually combine different things of modern fighting, different implications. And that's what I love so much about it. I think that it is a very modern fighting style. So if you're looking for something modern, or new age, Shuri and Ryu is definitely the way to go. Shurian Ryu has been around a little while. It's not like a brand new art. I believe it's actually been around, if I'm not mistaken, since maybe even the 80s or early 90s, around there anyways. I could be wrong, maybe even the 70s, but around that time frame. I know it's not any longer than like 40 years. But, compare that to Okinawan karate, it's definitely new. Okinawan karate, has been around for a long, long time. I would say close to, gosh, I mean, it must be at least 150 years old, maybe even older. But yeah, Okinawan karate was the first style. There's some old farts out there, some really old, closed-minded people who say, nothing beats the original. And look, I do respect people who say that. I'm sorry I use the term old farts. But you have to understand, there's an old Chinese proverb that if things don't change, they simply cannot evolve. And, martial arts has evolved since 150 years. So no, I do not think Okinawan style is the best form of karate, although I do have a lot of respect for it since it was, in fact, the first form of karate fighting. That's what all the popular, like video game fighters do is, Okinawan style, like Ryu and people like that. I can't think of any more people offhand, but, classic Tekken fighters and stuff like that. They all do Okinawan karate mostly. But I want to talk a little bit more about Kung Fu. The thing about Kung Fu is, to me, it's one of the most flowing arts. Your body is really like you're using your whole body and everything. Your shoulders, it's very flowy, kind of like you can use a lot of force with just a little bit of movement, with a circular movement and things of that nature. Now, karate does not have circular movement, but it's still very flowing. And I think that when you can combine elements of Kung Fu into your karate. The thing about Kung Fu is there aren't a lot of like Kung Fu classes you could go to. I mean, there's a few out there, but really, I mean, like in terms of competitions as well, there isn't there isn't much out there. I really don't know if I would recommend someone go to a Kung Fu class to do martial arts. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's really awesome, and I think you're a baller, if you do something like that, wearing that sash, that's pretty badass. But it's just, like I said, there aren't many places that do it, and if you're really looking to compete, I just don't know if I would recommend that for you. But I think Kung Fu is awesome. If I had to say my favorite style of Kung Fu, it's probably Wushu, which technically isn't really Kung Fu, but I mean the movements are similar and it's from close to that same time period. Kung Fu is a little bit older. Wushu is the most flowing. Wushu style has stuff like Tai Chi, things like that. You're really using your internal energy. And one of my favorite fighting styles is Baji Quan, made popular by the video game character Akira Yuki from Virtual Fighter. It's very, very powerful and awesome to watch. But again, you can implement all that in your karate fighting. But if I had to say the difference between karate and boxing, I think it's mainly just distance. Let me clarify this. So basically, there are long range and short range boxers. I forget the technical term they use. It's something like, I don't remember the technical terms, but more or less it's like short and long range. A lot of boxers are short range boxers. They like to stay close on their opponent. But with karate, it's more about long range. You want to get that really powerful punch or kick in. That's why I love karate though, is because they do both punches and kicks. And with taekwondo, it's mainly just kicks. I've actually been to a taekwondo class, and a guy there told me, this like second degree black belt dude actually told me that it's only 80%. It's only like 20% punches, and I have to be honest. I don't think that's very. I don't think that's good. Like, I don't think that's a good way to fight. Even if you do really have amazing kicks and jump kicks and all the spinning stuff, I really think my old sensei. And I'm just gonna close with this, guys, because I'm starting to rant a little bit. My old sensei told me this, and it's probably going to stick with me the rest of my life. To be a great fighter is to be a magician. You want to be able to trick your enemy. It's all about tricks. You don't want them to see how you're doing what you're doing. And if you can't outsmart your enemy, you simply are not going to win the fight. Martial arts is about being the smarter fighter. Now, it is also about speed and power as well. I mean, you want to have muscles. Like some people on here, they just need to eat their Wheaties. But at the end of the day, it is all about outsmarting your opponent. And that's why I love karate. It's because there's more trickery involved than a lot of other styles. It's very it's very much about trickery, and that's why I love it. It's just a fun, really fun style to do. It's something that I grew up with. I watched stuff like Karate Kid and things like that, and I also do love Kung Fu, and I love boxing too. But I just think karate is a really great place to train. Shuri Ryu, I would say, is one of the best. So if you are looking to go to a martial arts school, I would say definitely check that out. So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.